All right, guys, this Saturday night, we have the exciting conclusion to one of the most explosive trilogies in MMA history as Dustin the Diamond Poirier takes on the notorious Conor McGregor. Let's break it down. Dustin Poirier, 32 years old, he's 5'9" with a 72-inch reach and a record of 27-6-1 with 13 knockouts and 7 submissions. From Lafayette, Louisiana, Poirier had a troubled youth taking up martial arts after dropping out of high school in his freshman year. He turned professional at the age of 20 in 2009 with a first-round knockout and won his first 7 by stoppage before joining the promotion World Extreme Cage Fighting, losing a unanimous decision to Danny Castillo. He bounced back with a first-round knockout of Zach Mickelwright and then joined the UFC in 2011. After going on another 5-fight winning streak, which included a triangle armbar submission of Max Holloway, he headlined his first UFC event, losing via Darce choke to the Korean Zombie. After dropping a decision to Cub Swanson, he scored a first-round knockout of Diego Brandao and a second-round TKO over Akira Kurosani, then faced Conor McGregor on September 27, 2014, getting dropped by a left in round 1 and finished with ground and pound. In his next fight, he stepped up to lightweight, knocking out Carlos Ferreira with a left cross and right uppercut, and followed that with another first-round knockout, stopping Yancy Medeiros with punches. However, in his second headlining event, he was knocked out by Michael Johnson in September 2016. 5 months later, he defeated Jim Miller by a majority decision and then submitted Anthony Pettis via body triangle before taking on dangerous top contender Justin Gaethje in 2018. In an instant classic, they engaged in an epic back-and-forth brawl that saw both men land vicious leg kicks and brutal combinations before Poirier finally wobbled Gaethje in round 4, backing him up against the cage and dropping him with a fusillade of punches before Herb Dean stopped the action. 2 months later, he stopped Eddie Alvarez via second-round TKO and defeated Max Holloway by decision before challenging lightweight kingpin Khabib Nurmagomedov, losing via rear naked choke in round 3. After a 10-month layoff, he engaged in another brutal back-and-forth with Dan Hooker, winning by unanimous decision. On January 24, 2021, he avenged his loss from 7 years earlier, taking on old foe Conor McGregor, controlling the fight early with devastating leg kicks, and then knocking out McGregor with 2 right hooks against the cage. One of the hardest hitters in the lightweight division, Poirier likes to throw punches and combinations and has excellent low kicks to measure distance. He's also a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and is equally as effective on the ground as he is on his feet. Conor McGregor, 32 years old, he's 5'9" with a 74-inch reach and a record of 22-5 with 19 knockouts. From Dublin, Ireland, McGregor began training in boxing at age 12 to fight off bullies and started his MMA training at 18 while working as a plumber's apprentice. He turned pro in 2008 with a second-round TKO, but lost his third fight via knee bar to Artem Sedikov. After getting submitted by Joseph Duffy in 2010, he won his next 6 in a row, all by knockout, before defeating Dave Hill via rear naked choke to win the Cage Warriors featherweight title, and in his next fight, knocked out Ivan Bucketer with a perfect left cross counter to win the lightweight title. He made his UFC debut in 2013 with a first-round knockout of Marcus Brimage, and after a unanimous decision over Max Holloway, he stopped Dustin Poirier in the first round with a left cross followed by ground and pound. In July 2015, he won the interim featherweight title with a second-round TKO over Chad Mendes, and 6 months later unified the title with a 13-second one-punch knockout of Jose Aldo. In March of 2016, he engaged in a savage back-and-forth struggle with Nate Diaz, with both men inflicting heavy damage before Diaz secured the mount and began raining down punches, forcing McGregor to turn around and get submitted via rear naked choke. 6 months later, the two met again with the same back-and-forth action, this time with McGregor pulling out the majority decision. On November 12, 2016, McGregor joined a rare fraternity, becoming one of a handful to win world titles in 2 divisions when he put on a dominant display against Eddie Alvarez, dropping him multiple times before stopping him in the second round. After months of inactivity, he was stripped of his titles, and in August of 2017, fought in one of the highest-selling pay-per-view fights in boxing history against Floyd Mayweather, putting up a decent show before getting stopped in the 10th round. After 2 years away from MMA, he made his return to the octagon against all-time great Khabib Nurmagomedov in one of the biggest fights in the history of the sport, losing via 4th-round neck crank. After a year of alternating between campaigning for a rematch with Khabib and floating the idea of retirement, he returned in January of 2020 with a 40-second knockout of Cowboy Cerrone. After talking about retirement again, he came back 1 year later to take on Dustin Poirier, taking heavy damage to his left leg before getting knocked out in round 2. One of the hardest pound-for-pound punchers in the sport, McGregor possesses a powerful pullback left cross counter and is both a highly aggressive counter-striker and a master of psychological warfare. Can a refocused McGregor pull off the upset to prove that he still belongs at the top of the sport? Or will Poirier score another knockout as he eyes a showdown with lightweight champion Charles Oliveira? Tune in Saturday night for a fight you won't want to miss.